got Jason Priester on the line from allclemsontigers.com. Please join him there. He covers baseball, take you through the baseball season, and obviously spring football's right on the horizon. Speaking of which, we are posting our videos on player breakdowns and personnel breakdowns in the individual units. We've talked quarterback, running back. We're going to get to those wide receivers and tight ends with Joseph Nagata moving on, and E.J. Williams as well. Davis Allen at tight end. So where do we stand at wide receiver, tight end, and whose job's up for grabs?
You know, Clemson needs to get more out of their wide receivers than they have the past 2 seasons. So let's just put that out there up front. The production has fallen off, you know, for whatever reason. You can blame it on coaching, blame it on QB play, blame it on whatever. I think we're going to find out about a lot of those guys in that room this year. As we talked about earlier, DJ's moved on, new quarterback. A quarterback we know can push the ball down the field and get the ball out to his wideouts. So we're going to find out a lot about these guys. It's going to be mostly a young wide receiver room. You know, you get Bo Collins back, obviously. You get Brandon Spector back. Those will be your 2 veterans. And outside of that, it's going to be a lot of underclassmen. Guys like Adam Randall, who was injured in leading up to the season last year, right at the end of spring. Missed all of fall camp and then the beginning of the season. And I don't think he ever really settled in last year after tearing that ACL. So he's a guy that they're going to be dependent on. We saw what Antonio Williams did as a freshman. I expect he would take a big jump in his sophomore season. But then you got another guy, Troy Stellato, who has been hurt his first 2 seasons, and he's just not been able to play. He didn't play at all last year, torn ACL. Season before that, played very little, had some multiple injuries that set him back. We'll see where he is when spring practice opens next week. But he is a guy that if you can keep him healthy, he can be an invaluable asset. He's extremely fast. He was a highly rated guy coming out of high school. You got the redshirt freshman Cole Turner, who played a vital role in a couple of those games down the stretch. We remember some of the cases he had against Tennessee in the Orange Bowl, the big one he had. Then you got 3 intriguing freshmen, and one of them I've talked about a lot with you, Noble Johnson. He's an early enrollee. I think he was criminally underrated by the recruiting services. I think he is going to be an extremely good football player for Clemson. I think he'll have some opportunities at early playing time. And we'll see about the other 2, Tyler Brown, kind of a local kid out of Greenville, Ronan Hannafin from up in Massachusetts. We'll see if those guys, they're not early enrollees. They'll be here later in the summer. We'll see if they can earn themselves some opportunities at some early playing time in fall camp. But when we start off in spring practice, you know, you're looking at Bo Collins, Adam Randall, Antonio Williams. Those will probably be your 3 main guys right there.
Jason, in your estimation, as you run down Antonio Williams in the big season that he had, do you think he can be a true number 1 at a high level?
I don't, you know, I kind of envision him more as a complimentary guy, you know, not necessarily the alpha dog is the way I like to term it. I think Adam Randall can be that guy. I still think Bo Collins has the potential to be that guy. He just needs to put it all together. He still, you know, hasn't done that yet, and he's dealt with some injuries last year. We'll see if he can do that. But, you know, when I think of a number 1 guy, I think of a dominant guy on the outside, big guy that can run. And to me, that's not Antonio Williams, and that's not a knock on him because I love that kid. I think he is really good, and he's only going to get better. But I envision him more as a complimentary guy, more so than an alpha dog type of receiver.